What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hustle Bunny. And today we have in the studio the very sexy, the very talented Chris Rails.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
Of
on.
course,
Yeah,
anytime.
it took a little bit of a making, a lot of communication, but we got you, and I'm excited.
We're here.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you kind of introduce yourself to everyone? I feel like people introduce themselves better than I could.
I'm Chris Rail. Been doing porn for 7 years. You know,
Yeah.
that's an interesting. I've never even thought
Like
of
thought
that.
about like
Yeah,
trying to
like
put
how to
together like your
introduce
little
myself.
bio. Well, well, you're a very talented performer. You have over like 500,000 followers via Twitter. I'm sure like altogether in all your social medias, you have about how many followers? About like 2 million?
Probably something around there. Yeah.
2 million. You got this amazing contract with Gun Oil.
Thank you.
What's the name of you have is it Two Dads?
Yeah. So Two Dads is my company. Mine and Jay Meyer's company.
Okay,
My
very
business partner.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So what made you get into the adult industry?
So when I was 19, so I grew up in LA, born and raised in LA. And I'm actually born and raised in Chatsworth, Woodland Hills, which is like the porn capital of the world. You
Yeah.
know? And so it was always around. Like when I was a kid, I lived right next to Jules Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, for like my whole life.
And did you know what he did? Or was it like one of those things?
I think I asked my mom. I was like, what does this guy do? Like, because he keeps coming in with these girls, he's driving these nice cars.
Yeah.
And then she told me, she knew him, I guess.
That's funny,
It's kinda
moms. What were
weird, but-
you doing, moms? You
No,
know?
so my mom was business partners with one of the biggest directors in porn when I was a kid,
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of like, I mean, it makes sense. Like being raised in the valley, I mean, and there's that association with it. If you don't mind me asking, what was like the business that she
A
did?
shoe company.
A shoe company.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
And so
what,
I
like
lived
pleasers?
actually childhood was a little bit rough, you know. We lived, he had a spare house. When they became business partners, my mom raised me for like 10 years. My dad was nowhere to be seen and stuff. And so we lived in this house. And it turns out that like this house was used for porn shoots and all types of stuff. Like I found out later but yeah, no, it was a shoe company and it didn't end up working out. But
Didn't work out well. Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes like you try different endeavors. At least she tried it, and then it opened up that door.
she
for
actually
her.
got an opportunity. I don't want to put her business out there, but she got an opportunity from a big shoe company while they were doing that, and she took it. And so she's still a shoe designer right now.
Okay, very
Yeah.
nice. Well, congrats to your mom on that.
Yeah.
So, like, when you were in, like, being raised in this kind of like in the valley with the business, with all these kind of like entrepreneurs and seeing someone like Jules Jordan, like, did it like inspire you to get into the industry?
No, so I even seen my dad as an extra in a Johnny Sins scene when he was young.
Really?
It was like it's always been around me. I never thought I was gonna do porn ever. What ended up happening essentially was I was at a party and a director asked me if I wanted to do a porno. And I'm like, it's always been around, you know? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, just to say I did it.
Right.
I did it and I signed with an agent the next day, and then the rest is history, you know?
I always like tell people like it happens so quickly. Cause I remember like when I got signed to my first agency, it was like, oh yeah, like we'll fly you out, you'll do your first scene, we'll sit you down, like you talk about like, hey, like, did you like this scene? Like you want to sign with us? And then it just like happens so quick, right? And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, all right, I'm in it full time now. But I mean, obviously, like I love it. I love my career.
Yeah.
So you said you've been a performer for about 7 years. Is that
and
correct?
I'm 26.
And
yeah.
you're 26.
Yeah.
So how many scenes have you done altogether by this time?
I would say almost 2,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Any favorites you have?
I mean, there's like certain people I've worked with that had like blew the fuck up after I worked with, not because of me or anything, but like throughout their career. That's always exciting. But like, besides that, it's more of like the process of filming the video with the person. If
Okay.
they're cool and the video's smooth and it works, I want the video to look really good without everybody feeling like they're working as hard as they can, you know?
Right, right.
Because that's why I
Understandable.
chose this job, to be honest, was like I wanted to enjoy my life
Mhm.
while I worked. Because
Yeah.
I always loved to have sex.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course. So how long have you been doing, like, because we all know when it comes to like mainstream, your first couple of years, you're putting in all this work doing mainstream. You did a interview for, is it Men's Health Magazine about making that
Yeah.
transition into like being a content
So
creator.
I did 2 articles for Men's Health. It was the first one was on what zaddy means.
Oh,
That was the first one I did, and then the second one was how to become an OnlyFans creator.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what does it take for a male to become a successful OnlyFans creator? Because for men in the industry, it's kind of hard. It's really hard to be a household name, to stay afloat, and all those different things. But to make that transition out of mainstream and then just being basically like your own full blown studio at this point, because that's what OnlyFans kind of is. What kind of advice would you tell guys who are looking to get into it? Because I have noticed like a flux of males who do want to get into the industry, the content creation.
Film better videos.
Yeah.
You know, try a little bit harder. Don't just try to bust a nut.
Mm.
You know, but I don't know. For me, it's a little bit different. What happened for me, the only reason I started doing OnlyFans was because COVID.
Right.
The industry shut down, so the only option was OnlyFans at that time.
Yeah, that's
And so
very
when I
true.
started doing it, I was like, it took a little bit, but what ended up happening was I became very humbled in life. I thought I was going to be a huge porn star fast and it was
Yeah.
going to make a lot of money, and it didn't work out that way. So around COVID, I was like, all right, let me humble myself a little bit, sit down, pay attention, try to figure this out like a business.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I'm 21, 22 at this time,
Right.
you know? So I'm still trying to figure out life in general. But um, somebody tagged me in a post on Twitter, and it was underneath my business partner, his post.
Mm-hmm.
It was underneath his post, and it said, "When are you gonna do this?" Blah blah blah. And I commented back, and I was like, "He already did it though. He did it. He did it good. You know, like just gave
Mm-hmm.
him his respect." And it was just like, you know, and because most guys in porn don't like to do that with other guys.
Right.
I've noticed that. Like when for me, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
If you do a good job, I'm gonna tell you. You know.
Yeah, I think it could be very competitive. And I think
Yeah.
like the guys they get a little like, they don't want to give credit like you're saying where credit is due, but
Yeah. So I gave him his credit though, and we ended up just meeting up in LA. When he got to LA, he hit me up and we just hung out. And I had a girl coming to work with me,
mhm.
and I was like, "Yo, do you want to just do a threesome with her?"
Mhm.
And he said, "Yeah." And so she said, "Yeah." And so we filmed a threesome, and the fucking thing went viral. It had 4 million views in like a week, and it was just crazy. And that was the start of Two Dads.
Okay.
Period.
Nice.
Hmm.
And now is that basically what you
So
film
his name
now?
is Daddy,
Daddy.
and I didn't. It's always been Daddy JM,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to write Two Daddies. I just wrote Two Dads, and thing went viral. So I kept writing Two Dads on everything,
Oh,
and
that's
that's what
nice.
people just started calling us Two Dads.
Two dads.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
just became its own business.
It's like two dads, one stepdaughter. I don't know if you know the
Right?
reference to that,
Everything.
but
No, for sure though. It worked out
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so right after we filmed that video, it went viral. Um, 2 famous TikTok girls flew us out to Puerto Rico,
Mhm.
and they were cousins, and we had a foursome with them, and that went super viral too. And that was like
Yeah.
the start of everything Two Dads. Yeah.
Everything two dads.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And are you guys only doing that like on OnlyFans, or you'd have like a whole website and
The
everything?
website's coming. There's actually I'm doing a raffle soon too. So I have a whole website for this raffle too. And
Okay.
so it's gonna be like they buy a bundle pack. It's gonna be a T-shirt. It's gonna be a dildo
Hmm.
and boxers. and they buy this bundle pack. It's going to be 150 tickets for $100 a ticket, and then they get entered into we're going to fly the person out. And
Okay.
so they're going to come out, and we're going to get them a hotel, everything, hang out with them for the whole weekend, a bunch of events, everything.
Kind of give them a taste of the highlights.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then 2dads.com will come soon, and that'll be eventually all our porn will be there.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm going to take it back a notch here. And you said you
Mm-hmm.
did an interview and you said Zaddy. So explain what Zaddy is for those who still don't know.
You know what's funny is the main part of my interview for them that they used on the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It said, it said, if you want to know what a zaddy is, it's me. It's me, Brad Pitt, and George Clooney. I think that's what it said on the thing or something like. And they used that piece. That was like a main part of the thing they used. It was funny.
I love that. Chris Rails.
So we'll leave it at that.
Brad Pitt and George Clooney.
Yeah.
You got
Leave it
yourself
at
the
that.
ultimate Zaddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to earn that title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to, there's like a certain level
That's
that you
why
got
I
to get
put
that.
them, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you like them as like not look up to them, but you like what their aesthetic is. You like that Brad Pitt, George Clooney vibe.
Yeah, George Clooney back in the day was the man.
I know, he still is the man. Same thing for
Billionaire.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, I was like, they just get better with time. So that's a good
what I
person.
need.
Yeah,
You know,
I think you're headed there.
You know?
You go from 2dads to Zaddy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's going to be 2 zaddies.
Two Zaddies real soon. I'll be the stepdaughter. I might
That's
be, you
right.
know. And also too, it just kind of blows my mind how young you are, being 25 and already having such like a
26.
business, 26, and
Mhm.
having such like such a strong like work ethic and being influenced by like so many, like even like someone like George Clooney. You ask a lot of like younger performers like who the fuck, you know, they don't really think about that. They just think about the next, you know, what's biggest hit.
A lot of their problems in this industry is the guys don't look at it like a business.
Right. So, like, what kind of business advice would you have? Because I tell people, I was like, I don't think people realize, like, how much time, like, it's an everyday thing. If it's not an administrative day, if you don't, I start my day by waking up to, I have about 3 managers. I have my like porn managers, I have like my podcast, I have my OnlyFans management team messaging me, and I wake up and I have to start my day pretty much every day at 6:30 in the morning, right? And every day, like it goes from 6:30 and it's like nonstop, right? Like, and people don't realize that. So when people are like, oh, do you have time to just like do this? And it's like, no, we don't just go out and party and like have sex, even though like partying somehow is still a part of like the lifestyle, right? But you pick and choose the parties because it's like events.
My
you know?
problem is I work really hard and then I disappear and I'll party for a week.
Yeah.
You know, you won't hear from me. But I also manage all my own stuff except for like he manages few things, but I manage my own OnlyFans.
Which is very
I
rare.
do
I
all
give
that
you
myself.
props for that because I know like how daunting that can be when you know you have, let's say, 150,000 fans that you're trying to manage and talk to. So I definitely do give you.
And that's why it's hard to be so social in my personal life because I'm giving so many of them that part.
Yeah, you're giving
Yeah.
yourself. And I
Yeah.
think even like for me, like doing mainstream, like I always want to put out quality scenes no matter
sure.
what, for mainstream,
But that's
even
what
for my
separates
collab.
people.
Exactly. And I think that quality over quantity is definitely a lot better. And I feel like I've worked with a girl who's just like really popped off right now. Her name is Little Puck. And she said she's been in the industry now for 10 years. And like, this is like my first year of like really hearing about her. Or like knowing about it, and then she just kind of skyrocketed her way right now, and she does like these really over the top like cosplays. I actually had her on the show, but like the things that she comes up with are crazy. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, maybe you've been doing this now for 10 years, but like your 10th year is like when you pop the fuck off. And I think people think that like, because I had the same mindset too when I came in that like I'm gonna be the biggest porn star, right? I'm gonna just film and it's gonna go crazy. But that day and age is over. Like the just porn star, like that, like
You know what's funny too is that's what now like your everyday person that doesn't even do porn or anything, they think it's that easy still.
Exactly.
So I can't even like have a conversation about how I feel about business with a lot of people that don't do porn because they think that my life is so easy, that
They
I just whipped my dick out and made a bunch of money. It didn't work that way.
No,
Yeah.
and I was actually having a conversation with Jax and Jack Slayer, and he said the same thing too. He was like, "It takes about 5 years before you
That's
really
funny because that's like, I think for me it was about 5 years.
about 5 years
Maybe four and a half.
for you to really start for people to
That's when
really
I made real
say
money. Yeah.
exactly."
And for me, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about how many people watch my shit. Nothing. I came in this to be rich.
oh, of course,
And so that's what I care about. And that's
exactly.
when, yeah, about 5 years is when I started seeing real money. For
Yeah,
sure.
and I think that that's like because I think a lot of us like give up real quick, right? Or I see a lot of people who are just like, oh, like there's no money, I'm on to like the next thing. When it's like,
Most
no,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
most people.
Mm-hmm.
But I've come to realize, like you're saying, that you can't really talk to like some of your like normal friends or normal people about your career because like they just think it's easy and like it's just like this lifestyle. But if you talk to another business person, like another entrepreneur, another business owner, they understand it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had that interaction, but like I'll talk to like a lot of guys who are like, they own these companies and things like that, and like the one thing that they do is they understand the work ethic that goes behind the image that we are portraying.
It definitely might be the people I surround myself with.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not that social. Because
No?
of like me giving so much of myself to people all the time, I don't kind of in my personal life just kind of closed off, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are hermits at home. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's very rare that you'll see me going to go do like very social things,
Yeah.
But yeah, you do give a lot of yourself.
I'm definitely freaky and like to have sex and shit like that. But like, I do like to like not talk too much.
I feel that. Well, I guess, now that you say that you're freaky, what's the freakiest thing you've done in recent
Oh
times?
shit.
Zaddy?
I don't
Shit,
know
tell the people what they want to hear. Tell me what I want to hear at this point.
I don't know. Probably like everything possible I've done. I don't know. That's what I do it for. That's my
That's like
life.
that's your
You know what I'm saying?
thing.
That's what I do for a daily basis.
Well, what's your favorite thing to do? Like, what's your favorite thing to do in the bedroom? Or like, if a girl really wants to like satisfy you, or like, she's not a performer, but she's just a normal girl who's like, I really want to just like please you. What would turn you on the most?
You know what's funny is I'm so freaky that doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter?
Nah, it's the person. If we get along and we want to fuck, we're gonna have great sex.
You're gonna have great sex. And
There's nothing specific you're gonna do. Nothing. No, we're just gonna have the best sex ever, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. And are you more dominant, would you say? Like, would you prefer to take control?
Definitely more dominant.
Okay.
I've tried to like let them, but it ends up me being dominant every time.
Every time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here for it. I think most women like to be dominated anyways.
I mean, that's what my whole business is. It's like my whole fucking two dads, everything is two guys dominating one girl.
Oh, trust me, I've seen it. And if you haven't, I feel like you guys should definitely check it
that's
out.
That's what it all is,
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I'll sit back and let her do her thing for sure.
And then you'll take over when you see.
I just appreciate, honestly. Okay, this is the best answer for what you just asked me. I just appreciate a sexy woman. Everything about, that's it.
Okay, I love that. I love that answer.
I love to have fun. I love to fuck. That's it.
Yeah, have a good time, and it shows. It shows in your work. I can definitely say that.
Yeah, no, there's nothing specific.
Nothing. There's not that one thing that gets you just like.
Okay, maybe one thing.
What's like your one thing that's like immediately.
Fucking every hole on the person.
Okay. No holes.
That's how I fully dominate it. I get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's like it's free reign. You get free reign on all of it.
Everything of you.
Okay.
That's what that might be it.
That's real dominance right there. That's
Give me all your holes.
Give it all, everything. I think by the time you're 30, I feel like you're definitely gonna be a kink daddy. I give it like another year or two before, you are just, all the girls are just
I just gotta come out my shell a little bit. I'm a little bit shy.
You're a little bit shy?
When I'm not.
Yeah, well, you're not being Chris Rails, you're just kinda
Yeah.
chilling.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does your because you said your mother came from, like, this side of the the business side of the industry, you're raised in the Valley. Was she surprised when you, became a performer, or was she just kinda like, it kinda
I think
happened?
everybody was upset when I was broke.
That
When I
makes
was
sense.
doing this job broke, everybody was upset.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever felt like they had a control over what I did.
Mhm.
I've been a little bit wild my whole life,
Mhm.
but they were upset for sure when I was broke. Now, it's a whole different story. You know,
Yeah.
now it's unfortunate, but now they show me respect for doing what I do
Yeah.
when they should have known that it was going to take time.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way too. I think like my parents were more conservative. Now, I've always been kind of like I've always lived an alternative lifestyle, and my parents always knew like I'm going to go do what I want to go
Mm-hmm.
do. And as long as like I'm not hurting myself or putting someone else in danger, like of course we all make mistakes and we do things, but I think the same thing too. Like they came out here to see me because like one of my first video that I did went viral on Pornhub, and like that's how
That's
my
fire.
parents
That's
found out.
fire.
So like for us, I was like thinking to
But
myself, I was
was
like,
it your video?
no, it wasn't
Oh,
my
okay.
video. It was
So you
for
want to
a
know? Same thing
company.
happened to me.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, like I was, and it was funny because I was actually headed back to the airport to leave to go back to California to shoot again, and my ex at the time, he goes, your video went like your number, like you're on the front page of Pornhub. I was like, oh God, like that's so fucking cool. But then I was like, oh no, I'm on the front page of Pornhub, and I definitely didn't get the
Probably should have
good.
told the family
Yeah, probably
first.
should have told the fam first, right? And then
Yeah,
I got that call from my dad, and then I was just like, but it's like it was like one of those like bittersweet moments. But we finally like it took him a while. Then we kind of had that conversation of like, like I'm grown. I'm not doing anything wrong, and like I think they understand that and they see like it's not as bad as like what they think. Are they 100% like, yay, my daughter's a porn star? No, but I think it's the same aspect. Like they came out here, they see that I'm thriving, they see that it's like a good
for sure.
situation,
For sure.
and they can't, and
It
we
definitely
just don't.
depends on the person.
Yeah, exactly. So I completely understand that. So I'm glad you said that. Yeah, when you're just doing it out here and you're just like, well, if I'm out here sucking dick on camera and I have nothing to show for it, then,
Nah, for
I
sure
can see why
though.
you guys are
So it's
upset.
pretty much the same thing for me though. I did a scene for Brazzers when I was like 20,
Hmm.
and it went super crazy on some like Indian account or something posted on X videos, and it
Hmm.
had like 300 million views or something. And my mom saw it somehow. Her friend walked up to her and was like, "Hey, this your son?" And it was me. And at the time, man, there's a lot more to my life, but at the time, I'm living with my mom. I just got kicked out of my 48-year-old girlfriend's house.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay. You were 20
I was dating her for 3 years since I was 17.
and you were with and so at the time she was 45 when you guys
No,
met?
she was 48 when we ended. She was 51.
Okay, when you guys met, she was
Mm-hmm.
48. When you ended, she was 51.
Yeah. And she was um her baby daddy was super famous.
Okay.
And so I lived in her house with her in Calabasas for like 3 years.
Oh, wow. That's
It
crazy.
wasn't as good as it sounds, trust me.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, tell me, I
Trust me,
was
I'm
like,
paying the
no.
electricity bill and all types of shit, and I'm 17 working a security job.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
it was good, and
Good and bad.
I
Like, it's
wasn't no sugar mama.
okay. I think that's what people
Nah,
are. Oh, like this
definitely
hot,
not. I
like
wish.
48
Fuck,
woman.
come find me.
Yeah.
I'm ready, but nah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Were you always kind of attracted to older women, or did she just kind of come in and like was like, I want you?
I love all women.
Yeah,
I
it's just
don't
like
know.
you
It's
like
just
it. You
if
don't have
you're
a.
attractive and we get along for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that one was interesting for sure.
Do you
Yeah.
care to share like how you guys
Um,
met? I feel like this is like
I I pulled
juicy.
up to a stoplight or at a traffic light, and I looked at the out the window. I'm like, damn, this chick's fine. So I rolled down. I'm in a nice car at the time. I roll down the window, and I'm like, hey, let me take you out at the window. And she's like, all right, I'm going to the bank. Follow me to the bank. So I followed her to the bank. She walks up to the car, and I get her number. And then that same night we go out, and She gave me all her holes,
Like, she gave you
all
all
three of
of
them.
them. She needed
Yeah,
it. It sounded like she needed
yeah.
it.
And then
Yeah.
and then I moved in like a month later, yeah, something like that. Just so happened my lease was over with at my apartment, so it worked out for, you know.
You're like me. I feel like you like stressed your mom out. I stressed my parents out, but like in the like it was always it was like always just enough. Like it's like haven't didn't go to jail, never had like, like a substance abuse, but like none of that. It was just always just enough to where they just stressed out just a little bit.
Mine were probably, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, so who knows, They were stressed out. I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
You
my
know?
parents like, oh man, here's another thing to add to my credentials, guys. Sorry, but
Yeah, I do come from like both my parents are fully tattooed.
Oh, so they have a more like lenient.
No, they're both. I never want to put them down ever, but when I was younger, drug addict, alcoholic family,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah,
sure.
my dad was an alcoholic, and he's been sober now for like he was an alcoholic in you know, drugs and stuff like that. But he was a business owner, and but he's been sober now for 8 years, and I never want to
That's
put my
nice.
family down
That's
now
dope.
either. You know
That's
what I
dope
mean?
though.
So it
Yeah,
was
but that's
like,
that's dope
yeah,
though.
he's
Yeah.
been sober now for 8 years, and he still has his functioning businesses and things like that. So I understand that,
Yeah.
but you never want people to like look at them in that light because they always say like, well, that makes sense. Like that's why you do what you do because you have daddy issues. It's like no,
Oh
you
shit.
know,
Oh, shit.
it
I
always
felt you.
boils
I was
down.
waiting to see where you're going with that, but that
Yeah,
worked out
yeah. I
perfect.
feel like everyone
Nah,
says that. It's like no,
100%.
because I don't like putting down my family because I was like, no one's family's fucking perfect,
It doesn't matter
So
if they're an
yeah.
alcoholic or not.
Do you think that like your personal sexual experiences have like shaped your career? Like, do you think that like what you've done in your personal life goes into the work that you
I was
do?
fucking more before porn.
You were fucking more before porn.
I mean, probably the same as now. I was
Yeah.
always fucking a lot.
Yeah. It's these LA boys. It's like different. I don't know.
I
This
probably
is like
fucked.
new
I
to
probably
me.
fucked 800 girls before porn.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Busy bee.
I just love to fuck. I think that's why I did so good in this job. I was like, I just always loved to have sex.
Do you know the performer? He's a lot older. I think he's out the game, but he started his own business now. Do you know TT Boy?
TT boy, no, I
Okay, well,
don't.
he was like a Puerto Rican performer, and he's like the same. He's like, you remind me of him in personality and things like that. He was like the same way too. He would tell me, I did a scene for his company, and we talked
Yeah,
afterwards, and he was like, yeah, he was like, same thing. I was just fucking. I love women. I would just get turned on, and that made for like a great career,
I
you
was
know?
fucking this 48-year-old one time when I was like 18 years old. And I was fucking her so good. I literally was sitting there going, I swear she should be paying me for this.
And look at you now. You manifested that. You
I
did
don't know. It
that.
just ended up. I started doing porn 2 months after we broke up.
What was the reasoning for the breakup? Do you think it was just like, I mean, obviously the age difference is like one thing, but also,
I could say some fucked up shit, but I wouldn't. She was. I was being like held back. I
yeah.
was fucking 18 years old. I'm like, I grew up in LA. I'm like, fuck, I could be in Hollywood partying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm. She wants me to wear a suit and tie every morning, go to fucking 7 a.m., make coffee, go to work. Like, after years of that shit, I was like, all right.
Do you feel like she was like trying to groom you to be what she wanted? Because I feel like that's the reason why like a lot of
So I
people
would
date
never
younger. No, I
say,
wouldn't say grooming, but I don't mean
yeah, in a
grooming of like trying to
negative
like do
way,
that,
yeah.
but like I don't know another word for it, but like when people date younger, he like her wanting you to wear suits and like wake up. I think she was like trying to make you something that she
I
wanted.
think exactly, no, I think that she really liked me and stuff, and she wanted me to be her age and act like that. And that's cool, and I did it for a long time until it wasn't no good no more.
Yeah.
Like, she took care of me though, and like really, I don't know, almost made me. There's more to it. So I ended up taking her daughter to prom.
Okay.
Not me and her going on a date, like me just dropping her off.
Mm-hmm.
And I drop her off, and somebody knew me there, and and so they knew I went to high school with one of them, and so the daughter didn't know how old I was, And so they found out how old I was from their friend. And mind you, I'm already living with them for 2 years.
Yeah.
So from there, it was like it was never the same.
Yeah.
Like they found out their mom was dating a fucking 20-year-old the whole time.
Yeah.
She was telling them I was like 27 or something.
Okay. Well, I mean,
so
someone should be.
Have you seen White Chicks?
Of course.
So it's one of those guys, baby's mamas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those main characters in that
Oh,
movie.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the UK Daily Mail wanted me to do an article on it, and they wanted me to give a picture of me, and I was like, nah, I can't do that.
No, that's like digging a little
I'm not
too.
gonna try to make her life harder for no reason.
Yeah.
I respect her.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you guys still stay in touch at all, or are we just like we have
No,
to cut
the last
cold
time
turkey?
she texted me was I'm in therapy because I don't know why I date younger men. Because I did porn. She freaked out when I did porn. She goes, my kids seen your porn. Like, why are your kids? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, like what's that got to do with me? Why do you like dating younger men? Like, what is that? You know, like you.
I know we had a good time, so don't,
Yeah.
don't fucking lie about that shit.
Yeah, it was 2 years of a great time. I feel like there's probably a sense of like insecurity and jealousy there, you know, when you see someone like, you know, your ex popping off and doing porn and
yeah, it was probably like the most left field thing that she thought I was gonna do too.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like a businessman, like suit and tie. I'm telling you, she had me like a fucking 40-year-old when I was 18. So she wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you
She
made
should
that
have
jump.
the way I was fucking.
The way you were
way I
busting her
was
down.
hitting- that's what I'm
it is. Good dick will put you in a trance. I don't care what anyone says. Then you just start bringing up shit. I get it. Now I understand why guys like when they break up with like a girl who gave them like great sex. I get it. I understand it. I've been dickmatized.
She should have known the way I was hitting it.
Yeah.
Put it that way. For sure.
She was trying to tie it down so you couldn't do it with anyone else.
Yeah. That didn't work out.
Do you think that if no one ever found out, do you think that it would have just ran its course regardless? Or do you think you would have tried to stick it out and like...
No. I love MILF, so I'm not going to, she went through menopause and got really unhappy with her life. Mm-hmm. But I love MILF, so I'm not I'm still here. You go through menopause. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But nah, she got unhappy with her life, and because she was Miss Universe, fitness model, like bodybuilder. And she just was unhappy, and it just at this point I was like, okay, I've been catering to you for 3 years. Mm-hmm. I get you're unhappy, but I need to go enjoy my life while I'm still 21, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that can be a lot, especially when you are so young. You know,
it worked out. I started doing porn right after, and I was like,
yeah, and the rest.
And here we are now. So
yeah. Do you think that she's proud of you now?
Hell no. You've seen millions of views of me fucking.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes at a certain point, sometimes you might be like, oh, you know what? You know how sometimes after a breakup, you're like, okay, I was a little pissy for a while. But now I'm like, you know what? I'm proud of you for fucking being so young and turning, you know.
I'm like that. No, when I break up with someone, I'm cool. We're all good. Don't worry. You know?
Yeah.
They don't want to see you do good. That's the fucking problem. The problem is I don't even watch their shit. I don't even look. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you're doing good or not.
Yeah.
If you're looking at me and you're upset that I'm doing good, I can't fucking do anything about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's
what happens with me usually.
Girls are just in love with you.
And I love them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I take care of them.
Yeah, of course. If you I keep telling you guys, if you guys haven't checked them out, you should. If you guys can't tell already.
Yeah, I love what I do. Life is good.
Life is good. So are you working on any other major projects right now?
So I'm... Fuck, I wish I knew my code right off the thing. But I'm...
You're doing the raffle?
Doing an ambassador for Hustlers Halloween outfits and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So if I knew my code right now, I would say it, but...
It's okay. We'll drop all your links. We're dropping all of your links after this.
So I'm doing some stuff for Hustler right now. I'm going to do a podcast for Gun Oil for the lube that I'm a brand ambassador of. Chris Rail 30 is my code.
Okay.
Yeah, and I shoot a lot. You know, I'm kind of right this second just enjoying my life.
Enjoying yourself. Yeah, enjoying the fruits of your labor.
You know, spending a little bit of money, just enjoying.
Yeah.
But when I work, you know. Mm-hmm. I've been on a little bit of a bender right this second. So Right this second, we're on like a 3 or 4 day bender. But
It's okay.
when
You
I
work
work, I
hard.
work. The raffle, that's the most important thing to me right now. I want to do that so I can get to like meet the people. You know,
Yeah, meet your
I don't really
people.
go out to events anymore. I don't do like exoticas anymore. I don't do any
Mhm.
of that stuff. So I would like to give back to the people, and I want to fly somebody out and hang out with them and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Do you think
it's important to me.
do, are you like excited to like meet your fans? Are
Oh,
you
we're
like
gonna have fun.
excited?
I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
whole fucking event. Trust me, it's gonna be a great
Okay.
fucking time. Yeah,
That's fire.
I'm excited for that for sure.
Okay, that's what's up. And so I am doing a new thing now where I would like to end my episodes now with asking 3 questions. Just some
Okay.
fun questions, right? So
Yeah.
fans can get to know you even better. I'm sure that they
Mhm.
know you already, but just some lighthearted questions. And I guess the first one would be is when you're what is something about you that people wouldn't expect?
Hmm. You know what's funny? This is the first podcast I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had offers. I don't. Very anti. So I'm trying to come out my bubble now.
You know, that's why I started this
Yeah.
podcast. I'm an
Yeah.
introverted extrovert, so like I
Yeah.
live in my work is extroverted, but like I'm not very extroverted in real life.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
For
it's
sure.
like when I'm August guy when I'm doing this, like I did the podcast, I was like, oh, I can
Yeah. This
talk,
is
you
me
know.
trying to like, you know.
Yeah, well, you're doing great.
Thank you. So to be honest, there's so much they can't expect. Hmm.
I'll like people for me that my fans like they don't know, well they probably do know. I mean, obviously like I'm a huge horror fan, but like I'm also a big like anime fan, you know?
So I'm gonna drop a YouTube soon, and it's gonna be called Young and Dirty. I already own the rights. It's my
Mhm.
company already. I love cars and motorcycles. I have 3 cars, 4 motorcycles. That's what I want to do. I don't necessarily want to do porn forever.
No,
I love to
I
fuck. I'm gonna fuck every day for the rest of my life.
of course.
But as far as porn, no. I have hobbies and cars and dirt bikes and shit. That's my
That's
thing.
your passion.
And that's probably something they don't know because, like I said, it's the first podcast I've ever done. So I've
Okay.
never got to like. So there's probably so much they don't know because I only
Okay.
show them the
You only show
fucking.
yeah, you only show them
Yeah.
the sex part of everything. And I did that as well too. The first part, I was like, oh, like just watch my scenes and be happy with that. And I realized
Yeah.
that like people are like, oh, we love your scenes, but like, who are you?
Yeah. 7 years later, I'm like, all right,
Like, let's talk
let's
of
get to
yeah.
know. Yeah.
So with that being
Uh huh.
said, you love cars. What's your favorite car?
I have a M5 BMW that's pink. I have 2 of them.
Hmm.
So I have an older one that's a V10. It's all carbon fiber. They're both fully done up, but my favorite one is the one I just got, and it's pink. It's 800 horsepower. It's got gold wheels. It's fucking fully done TVs on the back seats. It's
Oh
like,
wow.
yeah. So I love cars. I also have an electric dirt bike that I built myself that I have like 30,000 in. So that's what I do. You know.
Okay, I love
And
that.
if I'm
That's
not doing that, I'm
exciting.
fucking.
And if you're not doing
Yeah.
that, you're fucking. Those are 2 good hobbies to have.
Expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, cars are expensive.
So are women.
Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. Okay, I guess another question would be what's like your favorite movie? Like if
So
someone
you
to
know
take
how I
a
got my name, Chris Rail, from American Psycho. So
I
the
love
girl I
that.
was
That's one
dating
of
at
my
the
favorite
time
scenes.
said I looked like Christian Bale, and so my
Oh,
name was Christian Railed, and then my agent turned it to Chris Rail,
I love that.
and we've been doing that for 7 years.
7 years strong. And I mean, if you guys haven't seen the American Psycho, the fucking arm. Have you done that yet? I know you need some Halloween content. Please do that.
Me and you can do it if you want.
Let's go.
I'm
Let's
ready, baby.
go.
Let's do it.
I'm getting wet already, guys. So where can everyone find you? Drop all those social medias.
Twitter, Chris Rail X, Instagram, The Real Chris Rail, and OnlyFans, Chris Rail XXX.
All right, and we'll tag all that for you. Are there any final words you want to tell anybody for your first podcast?
Hit me up if you want to get railed.
Oh,
How
you
about
heard
that?
it here first. So you guys know what I'm doing after this.
All right, let's go.
Let's
I'm
get
out.
out of here. That's a wrap. I'm like, let's just do it in the studio right now. We got the cameras going. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. Until next time, stay hustling, my little bunnies, and I will see you very soon.